What's up, everybody? I hope everyone's doing well. Peace and blessings, peace and blessings. I am going to start this off um, with the show. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. If anyone is aware, or even if you're not aware, I um, I do lives on a panel with another channel. It's a higher channel than me, but I am going to allow them. We're going to work out the specifics because I don't know how that works or what it would look like. But we're going to have them take control over the channel so that you guys can get some exposure to, the discussions that we're having. And even if I'm not on there, because I get busy, I've been very busy, but you'll be able to take advantage of those discussions. Um, So I have to let them know about the infestation. The infestation, and if they want to, they want the smoke on that, then that's, I'm pretty sure they won't mind. But at least I will be having content for you guys more often. And I'll still come on and do my information dump. Now, I had to clear out my cache. I feel like we can just continue on doing the information dumps. Um, I get as much stuff in here as I possibly can till I get it all out. But we're gonna go a different way. I'm kind of burnt out on one type of audience and tapping into another. Now, when we start talking about this Umar Johnson situation, there are two different audiences. You have one audience that is desensitized to things that are going on. They like the ratchetness. They like the drama. I've talked about them numerous times. Well, then we want to go into start having more thought provoking conversations. I've been saving this for last. Now, this group or this type of audience has long since burnt out from Umar. This was actually where his funding, if he was trying to fund, this would have been what he wanted to hang on to. But in three separate incidents, way before I came out, so it wasn't me, um, they had decided to, shake the spot, bounce the set. So the first incident was clearly to St. Paul's College. The second one was the Kim Ringo. The third was the SETI. There has been other incidents, but for some strange reason, these three things took out the bulk of his serious. I'm talking about people that are on code, serious, ready to do work, already doing the work. Focus on the direction of Black people. Okay. The people that you want. The people that you want near, dear, close to you. If you're trying to get busy, reason being, they have the ability to motivate others, empower others. What he has tapped into has been, more so for social media fame. They are the ones that are not going to donate. More of the sheep, the yes people, they're incapable of organizing. If so, there will always be more exposures. It's just a mess. It's a mess. But he did it. His behavior did it. And there were so many times when I try to explain to Umar, like the stuff that you do, people, it's almost like sitting in a class and being locked in, and then the class clown is in the classroom and you looking at the teacher like, get his ass up out of here. Like, get him out so we can keep moving. I'm locked in. But, and of course, when class clowns perform, There are other people in the classroom that are cheering them on or loving it. But for the people that are in there, they want to get back to the work. And that is the difference. He has the class clowns and the people that are interested in learning and moving forward and networking together. That's where those are the people that have taken off. So I know I don't even have to look at any books and numbers. I already know that those donations changed once these people vacated. And his frustration, the pitch has changed. It's more of trying to shame people into and psychologically pushing them into, but it's a symptom of a bigger problem. And that's a lot of work to try to pluck out the problem instead of creating, spaces or things that, or I should say tools versus things, tools that will help them learn how to think. Not what to think, but learn how to think. So, yeah, Umar does not get the spoils in this. He gets the ruins. And Amanda Seals, not to go too far into this, she came out, she went on Tasha K. And she did an interview and she experienced just that. People thought that she was talking about Tasha K's content. No, she was talking about the audience. The audience is more stuck on, other things. And she's more interested in spaces like, the audience we see that linger around, Candace Owens, her, Mark Lamont Hill, other people that are producing thought-provoking content, celebrating, intellectual conversations. And you're not going to get that in Tasha K. Am I saying that those people aren't over there? Few, far between. It's just not. You're going to get a lot of people listening to a story and only seeing somebody's hairdo, or like a place we were watching at work. We were watching, the nurses had exposed, or the nurse had exposed Umar, but the people in the comment sections, they were focused on, she had a BBL. What's going on with her hair? They're not locked in. They're desensitized to like the real things that come from that conversation. So, how is the mom getting in and out of the house and stuff like that? That ain't the audience they're not going to pick up on that stuff. So, yeah, Umar has targeted his, and I think he was trying to do some psychological like warfare, or maybe not warfare, but just trying to direct his message at a younger. But you got to understand, they're young. They're not thinking about having kids, let alone where their kids are going to go to a school at. So the only way you would get something like what he has, and he has a false sense of, how far he's come. Like I noticed this when he had the speech where he was like, Black Queens forever, and put the microphone up in the air, and everybody like, ah. Well, look at the environment you're in. You do that in the middle of a room full of 30-year-olds that are willing to, get out and rearrange some things with the resources that they have at their big age, and then you gotta win. But with kids, they do that for each other at pep rallies, or funny, this is even funnier, they do it at proms. Anybody remember where the little boy was coming off the tank? They're like, ah! He was coming out flashing his little money. So yeah, that's not a flex or a win, but it feeds his ego, so he can't see it. But time will tell. That project is suffering. He has started this new thing. We were talking about it at work. I honestly feel like he has not submitted in anything. The building's not finished. He hasn't submitted in anything. Um, Poor Inspector Faulkner. People are really thinking that that man is what is holding up FDMG, and he's not. And his hands are probably tied. He can't speak out about it because I could just imagine going into my boss and be like, "You see what this dude is saying?" And my boss like, "We can't approve a statement." They've already did that bullshit with the chief of staff, the deputy chief of staff, I think, and they're not going back in with Umar and his shit, especially when they see it didn't take any traction. A couple of people picked it up, then he responds, but outside of that, they were like, he's not anybody to respond to. And they could have figured that out when he came out and he said that, the Democrats had offered them this money to speak, and nobody came out. No one believed him, but no one came out and was like, no, we didn't. He's not worth responding to. Nobody's going to hop up and publicly respond to him at this point, just because he's not considered serious. Okay, so Umar is not a diplomat or a political figure, so he can pose as one, but for those that know, it makes a big difference. So, okay, so let me pull this up real quick. I wanted to talk to y'all so I can get this ready. So here we are. We're going to watch this. This is Dr. Maya and Brother Unk. And the commentary from what I've heard thus far is top tier. I have some timestamps. We'll skip over some things. But for the most part, this is what we're doing. Here we go.
People pulling up. The look, that's the pseudo killers in the building. Let me get Brother Onk up here. I see the pseudo killers. He didn't went live. So hold on. Let me get Brother Onk up here. Peace and love to you, Brother Onk. What it do? In Baltimore, what it do?
Yeah, what it do? What it do? What it do?
So what's going on with you, man? We haven't been live with each other in Brother Onk. It's been a few months.
I know you be scared. You be like, man, they be saying, Doc, why don't you control them? Why don't you stop?
I don't be scared. I don't be scared. I ain't never scared. Ain't that the song? I ain't never scared. But yeah, they get on me. These brothers get mad at me because of you. I said, golly, man, I can't control what Onk say out his mouth. If Onk, and Onk, you keep it real and you speak how you speak how you feel. And I think and I'm gonna say this publicly, I think it's very cowardly for a man to have an issue with another man. And instead of approaching that man, he approaches the females. That's cowardice. That's not masculine at all. I'm from that school. You got a problem with somebody, you pull that person up. You don't go to somebody close to them and pull them up. You pull them up on your own. So I just wanted to say that, publicly, I think it's very cowardly for any dude. I don't even want to call him a man. I say any dude, you got a problem with a man, and then you go to the women or you want to attack the women. Around that guy, because you don't have the courage to approach that guy. So you attack the women around him, which is cowardice. So anyway, Brother Art, before we jump into tonight's discussion, and family, you see the title, who's the biggest scammer, right? Is it Dr. Umar Johnson or is it Brother Polite? I'm just curious, Brother Onk, at this point, who's the biggest scammer? And Brother Onk, for years, I could have gone in on Dr. Umar. I never did it. You torpedoed him. You told the community nearly a decade ago, it's not going to be a school. Stop donating to him. He's scamming. You said that. the only thing that I questioned at that particular time, Onk, and you remember, the only thing I questioned at that particular time, I said, Onk, why didn't he come up with a proposal? Remember, I was on that kick. Where's his plan? Where's his proposal? People are giving him money without seeing a proposal. Where is his team, right? Because you can't just start a school and you don't have a team. Where's his curriculum? Instead of just talk, it was a lot of talk, talk, talk. He's on the Breakfast Club, and it was a lot of talk. But that was what that's what got to me. And I was going to show something real quick, but let's just jump into the discussion, brother, on because I'm feeling it right now.
So before you jump,
all right, go ahead.
So I see you got polite scammer. Polite is a criminal to the baby community. I think we need to make that distinction there. Straight criminal. All right, because a crime against the babies is a crime against humanity. And if you part of the Black community, then it's a crime against us, and we shall not keep our mouths closed. Because that's what they want. They want you to keep the mouth closed. You know what I'm saying? Don't say it. He ain't really look, once the champ got you, you did it. I don't play them games. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Okay? And the way you moved lead to that. You talked about courage and how men should address men.
Absolutely.
And I remember being in that situation with you. And I didn't address the women around polite. I addressed him.
Absolutely.
Called him up on the phone. Was like, look, dog, this ain't good. This ain't what that is. Never forget it. You ain't doing. Okay? And it was based off of you catching them, right? You caught them.
Speak on it. Let the people know. I don't care. Share the story. Go into detail. You can go into details.
With the scientific literacy on the mitochondrial DNA. And you put that piece together. You asked me what I thought about it. I said, that's tight. We went through some journals. You was like, I'm putting, because that's what you do. You start cooking what you got. And you cook it up like a professional would. And you cook them up. And you caught them out there. And all of a sudden, I don't debate women. Now you don't debate women because she caught you. Now your response was very, 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 very feminine. The way he came back at you was crazy.
Yeah, it was. It was
talking about you must not be getting some and all. Like, and I'm tired of niggas saying that about you. See, that's what I'm tired of niggas doing. See, niggas always, they don't fucking know. Excuse my language. We can say a couple cuss words.
Right, go in, brother. Right, go in, brother.
You're not doing because you ain't running around here doing to everybody that make you what? You gotta be gay. You gotta be this. You gotta be that. So now you can't have gay friends. Oh, you got a gay friend from childhood. They must be together. Man, we was livid with that.
I remember.
Livid. Everybody wanted like, dude, like I'm saying, Dr. Mayada's a rider. She's serious about her men. You ain't, I ain't gotta defend that for you.
Right.
Right. I know. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you, it speaks volumes because I've seen I've seen him on something else, but it speaks volumes to have somebody that's in their right mind giving you your flowers and speaking life into you versus just yes people and other people knowing that you ain't shit and blowing smoke up your ass. There is a clear and coherent difference. So and then other people are chiming in. So that speaks a lot about her. Those are the people you want around your kids. That's what you want around your kids. That's because that kind of loyalty is different. That's so much different. Okay, let's keep going.
Some serious boys, serious dudes, you know what I'm saying? Yes. Like a woman could, you know what I mean? With the help of your family, because you got a serious family. Absolutely. Your mother's serious, your aunt's serious, your dad's serious. I know I talk to him. And so when this dude came left like that, I say, Doug, take that motherfucking video down, yo.
I remember.
That's beefing. I'm gonna come see you. I'm not going around the bush. I'm not that. You know what it is, yo. You got your goddamn son down, bro. You tripping. Yeah, we're telling now we not. We got something. I say, nigga, I'm not trying to hear none of that. Take that down. All because you don't want to debate that lady. Niggas been running for you forever. You can't find it. You debated one dude, beat him half to death. Bludgeoned him half to death. Had the whole Hebrew community on your side. I say, my, oh my. I've never seen nobody put it on somebody like that before. That shit was like top-notch scholarship, and you had the level with you, like you brought it like a warrior queen or something. I don't know what the hell you had going on. That shit was fire, crystal clear. You beat them half to death to the point where you had the whole temple on your side. I say, what?
They did. They got up. They started, brother. I remember they got up.
So I said, you got a standing ovation.
Yeah.
So at that point, don't nobody really want to see you, right? And for me, that's a scam.
Yeah.
These men in this community refuse to have a conversation with you like that. They Pharaoh. They're gonna go around all kind of stuff. I'ma bring the record up. You and Unc record. Nigga, we know about the records. Matter of fact, if you really knew the records, you wouldn't be saying what you're saying right now.
That part.
If you really knew Dr. Mayat, if you really knew me, you would put that record down. Had to chase them out of New York. Yeah, we chased them out of New York. Nigga, ain't no lectures going down. Y'all done. You're not showing up at the bookstore in Brooklyn because we're gonna beat you there first.
I remember.
I double dare you. So it ain't even trying to be tough. It's really saying that you're gonna stand for something or fall for every goddamn thing.
That's a fact.
Okay? And one thing you've never done is you've never allowed motherfucker to kill my voice. Right? Like you do what you do. We have had great conversation over. Look, this is how I do my business, Unc. That's how you do your business. And I always respect that, because at the end of the day, I know when it's time to ride, we gonna ride. It's time to ride tonight on the scammers. I know.
And I tried with Umar. I tried with Umar, you know, to the point where one of my we share a mutual elder, and I don't want to put the elder out.
Nah, stay there.
Yeah, and so the elder reached out, because I was like, what did I do? I hit Omar. I wanted him to come on. Yeah, I wanted to come on, and on the platform to talk about, Black love, not to promote his school, because I knew that was a scam, but to talk about Black love, right? To talk about Black love and the importance of, Black people, intermarrying and blah 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 blah. So intramarrying, not intramarrying. And so I reached out to him a few times, and I noticed that he just left me on red. So I reached out to the elder. I said, well, what's going on? Because I know that I've never, ever said anything disparaging about Umar publicly. Now, I've had my thoughts. You and I have had our talks, but I never, ever went in on him publicly. And so, so I was, I was confused. I said, well, what did I do? The elder went and spoke to him, and he said, yeah, she said some things about me, and then it all came out that it was you. It all came out that it was you. So basically, first he said I said some things, and then I told the elder, I said, I've never said anything. I said, go find me a video where I've said anything, said some things about him, and no video, of course, because I never said anything publicly about him. So then he came back and basically said that I was around folks that said some things about him, and so that was his beef with me. And I'm going to say it again publicly, family. I can't control Ankh. I can't control what Ankh says. Ankh is a grown man. If you have an issue with anything that Ankh says, talk to Ankh. That's what men do. And the reason why I'm saying that, because some brothers say, well, how's she going to say that's what men do? I have a father who showed me what masculinity looked like. And I ain't seen my father pull up women when he had an issue with a dude. My father go straight at the guy, and he would have his conversations. So I've been around men, and I see the ways of a man. You understand what I'm saying? So I speak on that. You know what I mean? I speak on that. I speak to it because I've learned it by watching and observing men, And so, but yeah, I'm glad that you shared that backstory, because everything you said was 1,000% correct.
Yeah, come on.
Polite wanted to blackmail me with a daggone
nigga tried to blackmail.
Yeah, with a photograph of a person that I've known since we were 19 at Morgan State. Known her since I was 19. Yes, she's in the life. She gave me a kiss for my graduation. I was graduating with my doctorate degree, and that's my friend. She gave me a kiss, and we posted the picture. So he wanted to take a innocent picture and try to make it out to be something, And I was told that he sent the picture to everybody in New York. King Simon signed that to everybody. He sent it to everybody in New York and said, aha. This is her lover. And then I remember you and Sinetta called me on the phone, and I said, oh, what are they talking about? What are they talking about? And you sent me the daggone picture, and I fell out laughing. Remember, I called JD, I called her three-way, and we just laughed about the whole situation. You know what I mean? But that's what people do, and I'm learning that that's what people do when they can't intellectually spar with you. You
Right.
know, now it becomes, let me bring up your record, let me make up things about you, let me attack your sexuality, let me attack your family, let me, you get what I'm saying? Because they can't match you. And I'm not saying this is not coming from an arrogant
That's
position.
coming from
You know what I
reality.
mean? It's coming from reality. When people can't match you intellectually, then they start bringing up stuff. I want to, I'm gonna tarnish your image. I'm gonna assassinate your character. I'm gonna make up lies about you.
Mhm.
And that's what they do. But so yeah, that's what happened with Polite. And Polite, he didn't like that. And then another thing, you tried to tell people that Polite was scamming. You were saying
Okay.
stop giving them money. What was that hustle that Polite had? What was that hustle
So
on?
so the quote unquote your Moorish sovereignty papers, the sovereignty
Yes,
papers.
that's what the scam
And
was.
so it got so crazy, whereas though I would contact people, get their money back. People didn't, they want their money back. I was like, well, so I start saying, well, then the nigga not scamming then. I get the money back. People send it back to him. Young Pharaoh did that. I'm
Yep.
not, you can't listen.
He
Listen,
is
man,
a
you can't
weird.
make this stuff
And
up.
then Pharaoh is just a weirdo. And then I had people ask me how is somebody going to be just like him and try to expose him. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot of strange shit going on out here.
You can't make it up.
Got his money back. This man sent the money back to him, then cussed me out for snitching on him. I was like, nigga, I ain't snitching. I said, you got your money took, bro. What is you talking about? And so I've been through a few times with Polite. You know what I'm saying? At a certain point, just don't call me no more. All right, okay. That the people was getting on me
Yep.
that first contacted me, and I can verify this story a few times. I
Oh
done had
yeah.
people like Tariq, my man Tariq. I'm talking about with Negas Footwear. Big up to Tariq, right?
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
people would call him to get in touch with me, and it just was crazy. At a certain point, man, I was like, look, man, obviously he ain't scamming because after y'all claim he's scamming, then y'all just really want to talk to that man. Like
Yeah.
that stuff I don't understand. It just never makes sense to me. So he would get you with the finesse game, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest scammer is Umar. Polite is criminal,
Mm.
but the biggest scammer
Mm.
is Umar Johnson because he played with our feelings. And
Mm.
when I smelled it a mile away. I was like, this is a lot of you not. I'm still looking for the video. I got one more computer. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna find the video. I'm gonna release the video. And I said the business model not right, Doc. That was our conversation. The annuity. Like colleges have a certain annuity. Am I saying that right? Where people invest in a school, right? That money that's invested in school, it's actually an investment, and the money they make off of that, you know what I'm saying, they put it back in the school, but it keeps
Mm-mm.
going.
You talking about
And
the
Endowment.
endowment? That's
my
yeah, the
fault,
endowments.
endowment. That's what it is.
Mm-mm.
And so I said, and to get the grass cut, to get the lights running, I said that big campus there. I said this model don't make sense. Send them checks. I was like that. You can't keep that going. I said, how could he keep up with that? Off of just donations. That's not the right. That's not the right thing. And so I called the school up, the college that he claimed he was going to buy, right? And I asked him, I say, so do you have any buys for the school? They was like, no. I said, well, I thought Umar Johnson was going to get the school. They was like, no, he just asked for us to shoot a video outside the school. I was like, oh, man, really?
So he used the St. Paul College as the backdrop or the visual for um what people thought they were going to be getting. And it's the same. Ooh, that fits right in with somebody claiming that their shit is gonna be what hits, and everybody else it don't matter what they doing because this is gonna be it, and people keep falling for it. They keep falling for it.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean that's real talk. That's not no cut on that because they kind of dropped the price. It was like 2 million or something, or 2.7 million. and he dropped it down to 1.2 million. Don't quote me on the exact numbers, right? And I was
Mhm.
like, man, so why can't he, why can't he get that? And when I called him, he was like, no, he just asked to shoot a damn video. And then I knew when I watched the video, I said, oh, he got him with the God thing. See, we real weak when it comes to the God thing. We know the kind of pressure that was put on us with the God thing. Now, when I'm saying God, I'm saying, yeah, we all got beliefs. But when I'm saying God, right, to humans is a social system, right? A social cultural system, veneration of your ancestors.
That's right.
In deep time. You feel me?
That's right.
So that's why religion is hard for people to accept. Coming out of Africa, that's the thing that we didn't cleave to. You might think we did, but we didn't, because it's replacement of your ancestors. The biblical text is an ancestor acknowledgement text, right? Think about it. Jesus Christ traces ancestry all the way back to Adam and Eve.
Yeah,
Moses
that's
and
why.
Isaac and Jacob.
Yeah, the Bible says, and such begat, and such begat, and he begat, and he begat. That's the bloodline. And it's not. Some people may believe that it's not that simple, but it is very much the foundation. That's why it's done over and over and over again, because a lot of people, believe that us having this skin is a birthright, up to including me. And I won't go off into what my belief is, but I feel like it's somewhat around in there.
All the way back to Adam and Eve, right? That's how they do it. Okay. And so when you switch religions, you switching your acknowledgement of your ancestry. Okay. And so that's why we believe like we believe. Okay.
Right.
And for him to take advantage of that, play the whole God concept in the middle of a damn commercial, and the creator told me it's time. I was like, oh, Famolini. That's what it is, yo. If you're in the middle of a commercial and you bring God up, you're scamming. And
what he say in the middle of the commercial?
The creator talked to me and he said we supposed to get this. I'm like, oh my,
he pull out the black.
I got him. I said, I'm gonna tell everybody I'm going out. Man, y'all threw tomatoes at me. Get out of here, I argued with Ben. Ben was like, man, come on, tell me what
you're talking about, Dr. Ben, y'all.
What it is, Ben. I was like, come on, yo. I was like, man, he's scamming me, yo. Come on, people call me. I say, man, how you know he's scamming you? You always niggas start saying you always saying somebody's scamming and right. Man.
Hey, one of my cousins, shout out to one of my cousins. He got mad with me too because he said, you ain't donate, you didn't donate. Hell no, I didn't donate. I didn't donate to that school. I say he got y'all. And I remember, my grandmother always talk about going with your first mind, basically your first thought. So my grandma would say, I go with my first mind. So I remember seeing Umar in Hidden Colors, right? So this is back when Tariq first dropped Hidden Colors 1, right? You remember everybody was on the Hidden Colors wave. And so it came to Umar, and he reminded me of that character on Don't Be a Menace in South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. Remember the guy that was in prison and he was talking? And so that's what Umar Johnson reminded me of. So I remember looking at the video. I said, this dude is a clown. He's a fraud. I said that. That was my first thought. In my grandmother's words, that was my first mind, right? This dude is a clown. That's what I said to my family when we watched it. I said, this guy is like he was trying too much with the blackety black. You know what I mean? He was trying too much. Yeah. And so then I started listening to him more, and I said, okay, he reads. I started noticing the literature that he reads. I said, okay, he's reciting things from Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. He's familiar with the work of Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu. He took that whole conspiracy to kill black. He took a lot of his talking points. He took from his predecessors that he doesn't name. Yeah. So somebody who's not learned or does.
I've said this. If you follow this channel, I've said this.
Doesn't study would think this is all coming from Umar, but it's really Umar read a lot.
Yeah,
he parrots the ideas of people who have gone before him. Some still here, some gone. But so I started listening to him, and I'm like, okay, he talking some, so he makes some good points. You know how they kind of wheel you in on. He's making a couple of good points, but he never willed me in to the point where I felt like I was going to donate to his school. I would give him some credit. Okay, he made a good point when he said that. But then some stuff, I looked at him sideways. So, for example, one of the things, brother Unc, that got me was recently, he went live, brother Unc, right? He went live.
It's the hey, he got the funny hat on him. That's how you know he's scamming. You know, I got a Facebook post. I'm gonna add him to it. I'm gonna circle that hat on him. That's how you know they scamming, y'all. When they got the
This is very much Patrick Mahomes. I think maybe he was doing this because his hairline was fucked up. Maybe he was doing this because his forehead sweats. But maybe also he was doing it because he saw 19 Keys doing it. And remember, I told you guys about Nature Boy would take things, and when a man doesn't have a man when he's younger to imprint on him, he will take a little bit from all these men that he admires or he sees has oh God, about it. I knew I was gonna yawn. We're gonna have to speed this along. Sorry. He has aspirations of being like, or people just have following, and they'll take a little bit of what they like about them or something that resembles them and puts it, to use. So I don't know. This is crazy, but he got a little bit of something with the people that he's naming. It's crazy.
The funny hat on, that's a scam. The Moors do it. They all do it. Malachi, York, Polite had the funny hat. It starts with the funny hat. All of them. Listen. You know what? It's before you play that. I'm trying to tell y'all the way to catch a scam is the simple things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Umar, can you afford to cut grass at the rate of $5,000 a month on people just donating? You can't.
Right.
That's how much that costs with a cost, right? Simple things. The funny hat. He grown. All of them. Some of them wear the short cook hat, right? Like they cooking breakfast. All of them do it, bro. It's a scam, y'all. Like at this point, as African Americans, your thing should be, just basic. If you're going to you into your African thing, you throw that on. All right, but that hat right, all of them. That bandana, that's a scam bandana. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, he's scamming. Now go ahead and play the scam. Watch he say something scammy. Watch.
Tell me where you want me to stop.
And then he's gonna double up on y'all.
Africanism.
So in this video, he's saying basically that the people, they didn't froze his accounts. But let's listen to him.
Peace and Pan-Africanism. Peace and Pan-Africanism. Peace and Pan-Africanism. This is your big brother, Dr. Umar Ifa Tunde Oguntade. Intercontinental Ifa Tunde RB Jesus. Coming to you live in.
I can't.
He doubled up. He doubled up on Pan-Africanism.
See, he make African. He make
makes
Pan-Africanism and African. He make it look like a joke, man.
Yep.
When you got
like
people,
it's commercial. Yep, he commercialized. Same way they allowed them to do BLM. He did that with Pan-African. Yep. You got people walking around here have no idea. Let's keep going. I want to skip through this part because we've all seen this before. And the commentary is really what I want to lock in on. Because he doesn't circle that. This bandana,
every now and then he'll wear one of these hats right here. That's how you know he's scamming. You don't gotta look that hard. You ain't gotta get that. It's simple. Anybody wearing that is scammery. It's some kind.
He's not seeing the hair at the top. That's how damn long his head is. He just keep calling it a hat, but I know what he's saying. He's talking about that. Okay, let's keep going. Look at somebody down here said rapper I Blinken is dead giveaway that he is being deceptive. Remember I told you guys all he wanted was doing was sitting there blinking like you whipping him with words. Let's keep going.
Kind of, if not an intellectual scam, it's some kind of way to get you to their master teacher so he can scam. It's always that in this community, Doc.
Oh, hold on. Look, hold on, brother. Okera said. So Okera said. So when did? So he said wearing an African. Oh, it wasn't him. It was this person right here. Kwame so said. So wearing an African flag make you a scammer.
Depending on how you wearing it.
I'm done.
You got the flag right here. We cool. You got in your hand. Africa, yeah. But if you wear it around your head, you're trying to scam it somewhere along the line. You trying to get us, yo. Because the Africans didn't wear that. They had all that. That's the African American. Listen.
Yep.
Listen, I know it's funny. I'm trying to give y'all the keys. That's how
they do more than Africans do. That grew up over there, that know what the clothing is, know what the print is, know what the colors are. Then you get these women that drawing the dots and the lines on their face, and you ask them, they don't know what the hell it is. It just, that stuff means stuff. It means stuff. Don't play with them people like that. And then you repulse it's the stuff like him that have made people be against it. They're already to the point now, if it's somebody, it's a meme that was going around. Anytime a man say Grand Rising, cancel it. They had a man in a Pillsbury Dough costume talking about some Grand Rising. I'm telling you, they're making a joke out of it.
I knew he was scamming. Yeah, I tell you what. I want y'all to go through the catalog, right? That's all you gotta do. You can start all the way at Nova Dry Lee, you know what I'm saying? All the way to now, and they all gonna have some wild hats on. Malachi, York, all of them. They just not gonna be like this.
And the crazy thing is he on point.
I'm not doing this with you.
Come on, man. Blueprint, the Black Power. Did you ever see that man with that hat on?
No.
Never.
No.
He
might wear like a little kufi with a kente cloth, but he didn't. It wasn't this. He didn't do that.
No, he's the one that was saying to watch out for.
He wore his.
He's the one that was saying watch out for people like this. All of them people that were talking, and he's the one that wrote the book Blueprint to Black Power. He was telling us to watch out for those, and they have literally, that's why we have the FBA situation going on right now, because of how they carried it. Grew up in this for all my life, just wasn't in a comparison, put us in a community. And this is odd. Same mindset, everything, maybe even more militant. But this ain't it. This is very much like white folks go and be walking around in kilts and putting their crest out because somewhere way back in time they have figured out that they have Irish or some other Scottish or some other in their lineage, and they dress up in this stuff like it's a costume to signal. That's exactly what you see Americans do. This is an American thing. And I think because some people are just kind that they don't call it out, but they don't call it out. And I have an ex-brother-in-law that's from Gambia, and he didn't wear stuff like that. He wore it sometimes, but he didn't wear stuff to the point where, and this stuff don't even be coming from the same, not the same country. Nothing. They got a necklace on from Uganda, a shirt from Benin. They got something else on from Tanzania, something else from South Africa, a headband from South Africa. It's too much. It's too much. It's not signaling that a love of pride. It's very much like a costume. It's weird. It's strange. Even in Europe, growing up, like my best friend was Sudanese. My mom wasn't like, okay, let's dress up. No, hell no. Nope. So let's move forward.
The kente cloth thingy or something like that.
Listen,
and what he ain't go over.
Doc, you read the book. You looked at the videos. This man say that.
And just before they go in all of the clean eating is absolutely good, but the over obsession with vegans, they make this stuff like this. Everybody vegan, it's not. It's just like it's to signal that this is where they are, but they don't really understand all of it. They don't really understand all of it, even to the point where it's not beneficial to their health. They still be trying just so it can signal. Let's keep going. This shit is strange.
He the worst.
Yeah, he did. I have it. Yeah.
It's like carrying a Stanley Cup and wearing a lure and yoga stuff. Is something with Americans. I don't know, but it's just something about us that we just do certain things to signal to others. This is what I'm about. It's weird.
He did.
Dr. Clark say the same thing. The naturalists and all that stuff, and they
he did. Dr. Amos Wilson did, and that's why a lot of these cats don't really, you know how they revere other ancestors. They don't really revere Dr. Amos Wilson like that because he would have called this foolishness out.
Yeah,
early in the game, they don't nobody talk about him. You the only last person I heard really talk about him recently. First of all, the book too damn big. Here's the
not all the not sometimes. I'm talking about all the time.
Right. What silliness is this? So nobody's gonna read the book if it's like, they're not gonna do that.
We read every page, 868 pages, and talked about it every Sunday for 8 or 9 months.
Yeah.
And he did call out this stuff. He called it out.
Yeah, come on, man. So
Dr. Samuel's in the building. He said, "Yep." He said, "Yeah." Dr. Amos Wilson called that out.
Yeah.
When he talked about, it was in the chapter where he talked about black leadership, or we call it black misleadership, really, but it was in that chapter where he talked about the different types of black leadership. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and John Henry Clark said the same thing, man. So y'all act like I just made this up. Y'all just not listening, man. It's not hard, man. Like John Henry Clark was super solid, man. Amos Wilson's super solid. I always gravitate to the super solid dudes, right? Anybody that would talk about science in a coherent manner, right? Regardless of what they got wrong, right? I'm super solid. I'm gonna mess with them. Okay, because it's fair. It's par for the course. They wasn't doing all that. And they told you who was actually scamming.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're doing too much, man. Like it don't take you.
And that's the way. It's like he just said. Even if I don't agree, or that's called an adult, and that's how you unify. That mindset is how you unify. You don't have to think identical. You don't have to have anything. You just have to have one thing, and that is for us to move forward by any means necessary. All of this divisive shit that they done thrown in the game, even how we move forward. As long as I know somebody has the intention on us moving to the next or moving forward, I can work with them. I can hate their guts, but I can work with them. Because the goal is the ultimate, that's the ultimate goal. It's not enough people like that. They get hung up. Oh, they believe in. Oh, they do this. No. All you have to do is be like, I'm ready to move forward. If Umar got his shit together and stopped the weird shit with some distance of proximity, I could work with him. If he had a plan and it was already fit, not how I would still work with him if it moved us forward. That's how serious I am. But if you're holding us back and you doing weird shit, I don't give a damn what you could be anybody. I don't care. You could be the Oyo Empire reincarnated, and if you're not moving us forward, I don't care. I can't jack with you. Period. Point. Simple. I'm very, very much on us going forward. Yep. And it wouldn't be no drama or nothing else. All business. I've had to do it before. Couldn't stand people, but I had to grin and bear it and get to it. Offered apologies, whatever moves us to the next level. You right, absolutely, I was wrong. Okay, we're gonna get this done. Okay, let's get it done. I don't understand these men why they can't. You can't love us. You can't love us. You love yourself. You love yourself. And everybody waiting for somebody to bend the knee to the next person. And that's never going to work. That's never going to work. I don't have no hang-ups. None. Long as you ain't hurt no kids. Long as you ain't hurt no kids and you ain't hurt no elders. Straight out. And it would have to stop. It would have to fucking stop. But that's how you have to think. And if you can't do that, like people thinking it's about that. How it's not. I've been in worse houses than that. But if you don't want to change, if you don't want to do any better, then there's no point in me being here. I don't fit in to continue bullshit. And then some people want you on their program so they can run their shit right into a wall and take you out with it. No. And it's not a matter of opinion. We are way past that. It's like running across the street and dodging cars on a busy street. And say, well, if you do it my way, you won't get hit. I don't want to do it. I ain't trying to do that shit, period. We're going to go to the crosswalk, the safe way. That's the way nobody gets hurt. That's not trust. That's blind faith. And you don't give that up to anyone. And damn sure without no movement forward. Don't be stupid or not, trying to be mean, but let's not be stupid. There's a way everybody can win, a safe way. We don't have to do these grand. Let's keep moving, y'all.
Is to get a school the way you're doing it, it takes forever because you cannot have a school the way you're doing it. So I knew the business model was crazy. You couldn't afford that to the white community because they automatically know how money's supposed to work and flow.
Yes.
You can only get a marginalized community with this scam.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
That's just what I was just saying. Because they're going to be like, well, we could probably dodge the cars if we move real fast and then we pop. No, we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. You want to be at 14%, and you want to come in and you want to keep that number, or do you want it to grow? Because we got us coming in. But because you feel some type of way, I don't like the way they look. I don't like the way they smell. I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't want to be from that. Hey, you think you look different than them to them? You think you act different? There's no difference to them. All of that other stuff we can sort out when we get to where we're going. And that's another analogy. They want to stop in the road and clean out the nap pad instead of getting where to higher ground and then unpacking this stuff where we ain't got to keep looking over our shoulders. They want to stop right there in the middle of the road and look through and organize stuff. You cannot do that. And we're the only ones that do it. It doesn't make sense. It's like cleaning a room from the center and then working your way out. That's not how you clean a room. It doesn't make sense. It's no win in that. You just overexerting yourself. You mop a floor and then you sweep it, or you sweep the floor and then you mop it. It's a process. You gonna open up an institution and figure this shit out later? No, you gotta do these things before, so that once you open it, it never closes. It never closes. That's sustainability. You want to go out here and you want to be cool, or you want to go out here and get funded? Let's go.
Nobody else would go for it because we have hope, right? We have dreams, but they won't pour that money into the programs that's real, that we know is popping right now.
Boom.
Conscious ingenuity, that's popping. STEM, right? We're gonna be rocking in Georgia.
Waiting on Jesus to come back. Georgia. FDMG coming. That's exactly what it is. They are literally waiting on Jesus to come back. That's the same thing as waiting on that school to open up. And you have programs. He didn't have to do it like that. If he had something that was solid, he could have took the donations up and did a tutoring or an extended program, an extracurricular to add to, build up the faith, build up the funds, and then he would have still been able to do what he wanted to do, and that's teaching. That would have gave him time to get the money, get his house in order. I'm talking about as far as his organization. Get your money, get your house in order. And then when you get to the desired money where you can buy a campus, because all he had to do was do it this way, by the time he would have had a movement. Oh, and then go in and buy one of these mini HBCUs that they're trying to crash out. Snatch it up and put it right back in. And yes, we would have lost one, but you would have gained more. And then if people want to mess with you because they didn't see you solid, another one go up, front me the money. You see what I did with this? Front me the money or fund this. You got it. Open another one. You're on business. He's not on business. He's not on business. Let's keep going.
That's right.
They're all around.
That's right.
North
Carolina, South Carolina. We doing Atlanta, Georgia. We're already in California. And so, yeah, and like you said, people want to donate to Umar. He got millions of dollars. But what about these? What about these authentic programs right here for the babies? You know, just this summer, Conscious Ingenuity, we were in schools in Baltimore City.
I remember going on here. I didn't see where. I have to check this one. I think I was on one of these, and I did not see. It's where the testimonials from her and some guys, and I didn't see where to donate. I'll have to email her and see where to donate. But she got something dope going on. Y'all go and take a look at it. I'm going to skip over it a little bit just because of time. This is what I went on. If you scroll, you'll see some little boys in red, and because someone was telling me about her, it was Q Butter, her, who was another one? Q Butter, her, King Randall, sorry. I don't know where the hell, my brain is slipping. So I'm trying to scoot this along. And I know what I'm doing for Q Butter, but this is dope. I really hope that she is tapped in with the National Society of Black Engineers, not because I figure she needs help. I feel like she just needs to make them aware she exists. I mean, if she needs donation, that would be a damn good. She's an engineer. She's got a doctorate in engineering. That would be a damn good place to start her funding, her campaigning, and even make her a shadow board. But just so they know that she exists. So if anybody's like, oh, my son wants to be an engineer, well, where do they live? Oh, we live in South Carolina. Oh, well, I know a lady that resource network. But go and check it out, you guys, please, and donate if you can. I wanted to move this along because for time, let me see what they're talking about.
I see some folks watching on my IG, so I can't show it. The link that I sent you for the UACI STEM camp. Hold up, I might be able to.
I see babies. We gotta look at the babies, right?
I think I can pull it up and share it with the family.
I gotta look at the kids.
Yep, I can. Here it is.
So
this is the UACI STEM camp. Shout out to Baba Amin and the Uhuru Academy family. Look at this, y'all. Hold on, I'm gonna share this. Let me see if I can. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can share my sound.
What did it say? It said Dr. Q Bars. Somebody called. Why did they call him Q Bar? Got the Ghanaian crypto for the low. Oh shit! These comments is crazy. Now you just sound pure cray. You have zero idea of anything I've done. But even Stevie Wonder can see Umar ain't built shit and ain't gonna build shit. Kenyan. Miss Tiffany, it's easy to criticize somebody when you don't build nothing yourself. See, y'all gotta stop doing this shit. You gotta stop doing that. Somebody did that to me and I'm like, okay. I don't have time to build shit. I'm too busy doing other shit. If I open up anything right now, oh boy. No need to personally insult me, Ken. LL, take the smoke to Umar. Yes, that's not necessary. Getting these babies together today so they can build our tomorrow. Facts. Parallel surfing on the okay.
These are our babies right here. Showing me their projects. Showing me their projects.
Oh.
What project did you work on this week that you want to share?
It's using light along with the compass to determine which direction you're facing.
What I made was the traffic light, and since we didn't have yellow, I used blue. So basically, what happens is this green light goes on for 5 seconds, and then it turns off for 2 seconds. Then it goes to the next light, which is blue. Then it goes on for 5 seconds, and then it turns off for 2 seconds, and then it goes to the red light, which goes on for 5 seconds, and then turns off for 2 seconds, and then this keeps repeating.
Every time I press D and then press.
Okay, I'm not to pause the babies, but she said this lady down here said her camps are completely free. And see, that's even more. And I try to explain this to people. We pay into grants. That's our money out of your checks. That's your money. That's yours. It's not from the government. And the government doesn't work hours and then put money aside like here. It's not a hand me out. This is money that you pay in when you pay your taxes, when you get fines, when you get there with the tariffs and everything else. That shit goes into a bucket. When you go in and you get somebody to write a grant, and this is just like vague and not specific, but they go in and they write a grant. Very specific grant writing. Then they allocate money or they give you money and you apply it to what they want you to do. So getting funding is hard. There does come stipulations because they have to report back to the public, this is how we used your money. And you know how people are. So, of course, you're going to have people, don't use my money for nothing, Christian. Don't use my money for nothing on science or whatever else. So it has, specific things that you have to, okay, but you can get grants to do things. It doesn't have to be all things, but it can be a great deal of things. But my point is, if we already getting taxed half to death, and yes, black people go out and they spend money into the economy. But the thing is, that's things like that are so you don't have to spend your money. You should utilize those things. Who paid for the education is lost if you can't afford. If you put your baby in something like this as $400 a month or $400 for whatever, and you can't keep it up, that's going to be more of a disappointment to that child than somebody saying, oh, you took money from the government. Or the lights getting cut off or the gas being cut off because you are paying into something. And don't even get me to trying to make up the difference for some people that have to work. Who gonna pick the baby up after? Who gonna drop him off before? It's a bigger picture than what Umar and others consider. So if I don't have to spend no money, but they can still get this knowledge, that's a win. Because now they have had access to something that they can use and they can build on. I can still take care of my bills and everything else. So he's not looking at the full picture, and it's not only him, it's other people. They're not looking at the full picture. Regardless of where the money came from, it benefits a black mind, a black child. So if you really feel like that, then you go and you take up and do small self-determination projects to build up the camaraderie, and then you set it in motion and you accomplish it and you feel good about it. He wanted people to do this so they could feel good about coming together and accomplishing something. At that time, when Garvey was pushing that, we were near the Depression. Wasn't no money to go and apply for. So don't wait on them. Don't wait on the government. Pull together and do it for yourself. And they paid into that stuff during the Depression. They paid into the UNIA during those times. And that's why we have it. That's the pride right then and there. So if we go through hard times and we have some kind of money that we can stick into something when gas prices go through the roof, and single mothers can come to an organization that is set up by the community, and they can get gas money or they can get help with rent or get help with whatever, that's benefiting the community. That's also a self-determination project. You don't have to do it one way. Oh, my nose is itching. Let's keep going.
Plus A plus B, they'll spin around.
So once you connect it to the computer, it shows the check mark pause 1 millisecond and it goes to the X. And then if you press another button that shows the heart, and then if you press B, it shows that, and then A plus B, it shows smiley face.
I had did a smiley face with this for my last program, and I put a little music thing up here, so every time it plays music, it goes to a different one.
So this one I'm gonna be doing.
This one I'm gonna be doing.
If you press button A, it's gonna make a smiley face. But if you press button B, it's gonna make a frowny face. But if you press both,
what project? So, brother, what the kids were showing was a microbit, which is really like a mini computer that you can use to teach them coding. So we had what Baba Amin and I did was, because we had children in the program from the ages 8 to 17, right?
And that's something can't nobody take away from them. It don't matter who paid for it. We talking about reparations, but won't tap into grants? I don't understand that.
And so we had to figure out, like, how do we group them? So we created 4 different groups. So group 1, that was children in the, I think they were 2nd and 3rd graders. So we called it Kemet 1. So that was 2. So that was 2nd grade and 3rd grade. Then Kemet 2, that was 4th and 5th grade. And then we had Timbuktu, that was 6th through 8th grade. And then we had Morgan State, which was the high school children, right? 9 through 12. And so the high school children learned how to code in Python. So they actually were coding in Python.
Yeah.
They learned about if-else statements. They learned about loops, right? For loops, while statements. They learned how to define variables in the Python language. For the other groups,
I think the Python is like, and anybody can tell me in the comment section, I think that's the foundation of coding, and it is a syntax or something that's after that. Okay, I think that's dope. Let me
focused on the fundamentals of coding. So we taught them the same concepts, but we used block coding. Okay, and we did all of that on the microbit. And I'm glad that Sister Rashamela, she put in the chat, she said all those camps were free.
That's what I saw.
All of those camps were free. So you can't say, oh, Dr. Ma'at scamming the community. You have a parent in here who's had her son in nearly all of my camps, and she will tell you we did charge one time.
That's like saying, that's like saying that the education is less because you got a scholarship. That's weird. You didn't pay for it out of pocket, so the education don't mean as much. Who does that? Now, I understand the reasoning for him wanting to do self-determination in a school, but baby, you ain't gonna be able to, still not gonna be able to get them kids in there and think you can do what you want to do. That's not gonna happen. You don't want no constrictions on or restrictions on certain things, but I mean, you still not gonna for those things. I would have done it as something paid after school. If that, I wouldn't have done the whole thing. There's a way that you can get those things into the child, or even selling stuff at the school that parents can implement at home that you probably can't do inside of the building. I'm not talking about whooping them or nothing harmful. I'm just saying where you don't want the state coming in and regulating or things or courses and stuff like that. You could have did that on the weekend. I understand the reason for the school, but the biggest problem was how he went in. That it's not trying not to take the money for funding from the government. I get that part. I get all of that. It's other people that say, well, such and such got a school and such and such got a school. Yeah, but it is not, is a charter school, is funded by the government. So they're going to set a lot of the criteria. And I don't know what that criteria is or what he's trying to get around. But if you knew you didn't have somebody with deep pockets, I would have been waiting off on that building. I would have put the stress, and then that way it would have put the stress on those that have money from the what do you call that? From the people that follow them. My brain is shooting. If you think celebrities have this money that they don't want to come up off of, and your behavior has not helped, but if you feel that, then you should have put the power back in the hands of the people to put the stress on them. Because if they're sitting waiting for this building and sitting and waiting on all of this, all you had to do was hold out and make people put the stress on these people to fund it. He's been looking for a funder 2-3 years. If he was right in the mind, I'm just speaking like hypothetically, or for the next person that comes along. Umar has a lot of problems. This ain't even a possibility. But I'm saying for anybody else, make the people put the stress. We ain't buying no more albums. We ain't doing no more. The same thing with the Asian thing. We've been waiting to get the school funded. So this is what we on. If you want our support, that's where you get your crowd at. And yeah, they would have went in and they would have been like, okay, I'll sponsor. If not even musicians, actors, whomever, start putting that money in there. That would have worked. If you feel like you have access to those people. Or just put up a visual. They could have got the same gratification from hitting the goal as putting up a graph on a site and letting people watch it grow. And not purchasing any building. Complete community engagement. He stresses let's keep going. It's just he stresses himself out.
Vehicle, right? But I go all the way through the on not only our K through 12 students, but I go all the way through the university.
I would like to add something to that university aspect of it. You've given me the opportunity to talk to your first and second year students on a regular
Absolutely.
basis. It's a great experience for me. They think they getting something out of it. I'm really getting something out of it. Yeah, and just to hear their responses.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know, when they write their reports on what they saw and how they thought, like, man, that's something right there, right? To actually come through that class and have those conversations with those college students is big. It shows that what we're doing is actually worth it.
Come on.
And to wake people up to the idea of STEM in this African context, right? In this cultural context.
It's cultural context.
We got a whole thing based on that. Got a paper on that.
No, I'm doing
Okay. The whole thing is based off that.
Okay.
This whole STEM movement that we got going is based off of dealing with our community, man. Make them interested in it. Why? How come the African American community has been more interested in what they believe in their religion as opposed to STEM? Where other communities, it counterbalances it out.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to stop people from believing.
Same way they got faith in this FDMG, and they got other schools that they could have added after school like she did. Just holding out for the great hope.
Right? Because that's human. That's Homo sapiens sapien. We just spooked out. Okay? Few of us can cross that threshold. That's okay. What's important is that we be able to understand the difference. To be able to look at reality and say, they scamming.
Right.
Based off of reality, based off that's you're not gonna be able to pull that off,
Right.
right? You know your cultural duties. I mean your civic duties.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, understanding basic concepts. All these things help you move forward in life, right?
Yeah.
That's why our civic duties be real off tilter, right? Because
And he's absolutely right. That's a hell of a gem. We got a lot of people out here that have left home and don't have the bare minimum knowledge on how things work and operate. A lot of people, they don't know how to banks, the process on banks. They don't know the process in buying a house, they don't have any process of opening a business. They've left home and came out to society, but not even where he's talking about your civic duties, even how to vote or all of that stuff. They don't have any of that knowledge, so that when people come in and sell them a pipe dream, they can't be like, hold up now, that don't sound right. You see what I mean? It cross cancels itself. It doesn't work. The process of getting a toy into the store, like the pipeline of it, they don't have any idea. This isn't stuff that is like mandatory, or it's not going to be any way to do life. But they just don't have these basic things so that they can improve or they can catch things. And if you know they don't have it about that, think about resources that are out here that we are maybe tapping into, but we're not using them correctly to the full benefit. Maybe they're using them wrong. Things have been out here, and we generation after generation after generation. This shit blew my mind. We went down to I think it was Memphis. And Memphis, in the part I was at, it's like dilapidated. And so there were certain people that have been down there that generation after generation after generation. And then you get kids that have finally got exposed to something else, and they're like, well, I don't want to do that. You know, my mama did it, my grandma did it, but I don't want to do it. And let's say like it's like Section 8 or something. And then you go and I said, well, ask them how that works. You have to do it because you started out in a hole. And you don't have to stay on it, but you can, you would lose more. This is just a safety net. You would lose more by not doing it than trying to do. You would exert more resources and stress yourself with a new baby than doing it this way. Now, if you don't like it like that, then you can always figure out a plan that you're off in 2-3 years. But you have to know how it works first. I don't know how it works like that in order to help you map it out to where you can get your finances set, get you a job, get you a car, and then get your baby up, about time your baby is ready to go into early Head Start, you will be ready to get into your first home. If you play like your first home that you're buying, if you play it right. But you have to figure it out. If you're not using these resources correctly, then you're not going to be able to do it. That's life. That's how you make it out of it. So if you don't want to be continually doing what you have been doing or have been seeing your mother what held your mother up or held her mother up, then you have to introduce something that's different. And you're going to have to figure out where it becomes different. Or what did they miss? And correct the step. But you can't just be like, I'm not gonna do it, because you're gonna stress yourself out. It can be done, but if you fail, you on the street. That's not something you want to gamble with. But there's a lot of stuff like that. Just imagine how many things are out here that are available. And here's the other thing: the people that set these things up, they've never used them. They don't know if they're realistic or not. They just made something up, designed it, and then put it out in the community. And we probably, knowing how we are, may do with it, or it could be the reason why we're failing. I don't know. But you gotta know, you have to know like where the resource or how the resources work in order to do better. You gotta know.
We lead with our religion and spirituality. There's a place and time for that. There's a place for nature too. We all claim to be natural people. I want the natural thing. Well, then science is a great tool for understanding nature, the natural world. So that's
Absolutely.
So back to the class. It's just important to see that these kids that's in college now hadn't heard what I said for the first time. It's bananas.
All the way
That's
to
right.
college.
I gotta send you. I have to send you the papers. I didn't send you the papers from last semester, did I?
No, I don't want to get. I don't want to get the big head. I'll be pumped up.
I gotta send you. I gotta send you that the reflection papers that they wrote. I think I remember calling you, but I don't think I emailed you. You know what they said, how you totally changed their perspective on engineering. Like that, you actually changed how they view engineering. We call it engineering construction, right? How they view engineering knowledge. You know, how they interpret what engineering is and what it means to be a Black engineer. They said that you actually changed their perspective on it. I had the writings, I have the excerpts from it. Actually, we need to write a paper on that.
Maybe
the power of that. You know, we definitely got to write another paper on that and put that out there and include in the paper student excerpts, right? The data. We got to put that out there. Right? We got to put that out there. That's another paper.
It's real because we don't actually get this. It is important. It's just as important as, you know, when you paint your Jesus black, right?
Right.
Reason behind it.
See yourself in it.
Okay. It just is. You need to be able to see yourself.
See yourself.
All right. If you can't see yourself, then you can say, man, that ain't of myself there. I can't really relate to that. And so, you know, science is a human endeavor, but it's been tilted. Way tilted. Just the general disrespect of your degree in this community has been fraught. It's been crazy.
They don't see the value.
They don't respect degrees. They it's deaf to expertise around here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, that's wild for me.
I never saw anything like that, until I came into this community. I was shocked. You know, like you don't respect that. They was like, what you say? They threw tomatoes at me, when I said I got a doctorate in engineering. They like bing, bing, bing. And I'm like,
you know, they value their education. And that's what it is. Whoever was born for her didn't come from a home to value their education. They feel like they got it. They're self-taught, so it's they didn't get it easy out or something. I don't know. But there are people that are out there like that. Okay, let's keep going. I got distracted.
I was thinking to myself, I said, they don't really have a clue. How many women do you know? And this is not coming from a place of arrogance. Mm-hmm. The numbers are low. Unc, you saw the numbers. You did you went on the government website. You saw the numbers. A lot of sisters aren't going into STEM, let alone getting advanced degrees in STEM. You know, and shout out to the sisters who are. Shout out to the sisters who are. One of my favorite sisters right now, Dr. April Erickson. She bad on. I think that's in your screenshot of her work.
You probably did.
Oh, the sister is bad. And so anytime you got fools out here saying that, we never went to space. This sister's doing work right now on Mars. Yeah. She's doing work right now with NASA on in Mars. And I had the honor of meeting this sister. I ain't want to fan out, brother Unc. I met
Cold
her at
and
the National
mad.
Academy. Look, I'm asking.
Bro, you know that's
Let's
the
do
time
it.
to do that.
Let's do it then. I
Yeah.
got her contact information. Ran into her a couple of times. She's a fan of my work. I'm a fan of her work, you know. And so yeah, I can connect them, bring her on the platform. This sister's doing work in Mars right now as we speak. So when people sit back and say, "Oh, we never made it to outer space," now you're discrediting people like April Erickson. I know that you always
Yeah.
talk about discrediting people like Katherine Johnson, but then you got April
There you
Erickson
go.
and a lot, you know, some sisters who
Still
came
doing
behind her.
Yeah,
Yeah, still
it's
doing it.
Human
Yeah.
Still doing it.
You matter of fact, we did a show together on that.
yeah.
How the flat earthers and all that and the conspiracy. See, a lot of times African Americans don't the very conspiracy that you're following is discrediting who and what you are.
Boom.
Craziest thing ever. So if you didn't go to the moon, then you don't know the history and education behind that.
Yep.
Like these sisters, they called them human computers,
Yep.
right? Because
Facts.
they did the mathematical equations. They could do that on
Yeah.
par, right?
Yeah.
And they just called them human computers, right? And the trajectory and all that, how to get to the moon.
And that the girl that she was just talking about, I forgot all about her, but I forgot all about her, but she did the mathematics on designing the spaceship that carried, and she is doing work on Mars. She's dope, and not only in Mars, but she's dope in the medical community. As is Katherine Johnson. And then these people be coming up with these conspiracy theories, and we have our own in these places. It's like you celebrating or wanting to flex out that your son or daughter has become a doctor, but you don't go to the doctor. You know how crazy that sounds? My daughter's a nurse now. She's a practicing technician, and you don't go to the doctor. That's crazy. And that means basically you don't have no trust in your child, what your child has decided to put their life work into. You don't believe in it. That's wild. Let's keep going.
Because the earth is moving, everything is moving. You got to get the right math. To
Yeah,
Yeah.
credentials.
go to an old Greek math equation to kind of. It was crazy, but I'm saying when you say they did get on the moon, now you're disrespecting the expertise of the sisters.
Yeah.
That actually helped that process.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
1,000%. And people need to check out that show. That was a powerful show that we did where we broke
Or they hollering about
the thing
hidden
down. But yeah, you're
figures
discrediting
now.
the work of those sisters when you say that
Yeah.
foolishness out your mouth. But let me tell you, the real reason why I decided to hit you up and pull the trigger on going in on Umar. You know, I already went in on Polite, but going in on Umar when he disrespected this sister. So I don't know. Some sister came out and talked about her relationship with Umar Johnson.
This is the second.
And at that particular time, I was minding my black business. I was in London. Look, I was in London with Anthony T. Browder. We went to London for 4 days. Then we went to Paris for 4 days. Went to the British Museum. We went to the Louvre Museum.
And a fly on the wall.
So we went there. We had a really, really good time. And a matter of fact, I'll be going on. He's on some radio show in DC. I'll be going on there on Wednesday to talk about the trip. But while I was there, the internet was blowing up. People was hitting me up. Doc, you see what Umar Johnson? You know, he went in on his sister, and I was like, what he go in on his sister for? Some sister was apparently the caregiver of his mother, and he had some sort of, you know.
As much as I love this video, we're gonna have to skip through it, like the babies, like the ones before, for time. But I encourage you guys to go look at it if you have not seen it. Everybody in America has seen the damn video. Okay, let's go.
Sexual interactions with the sister, and I believe that the sister publicly spoke on it. And then, you know, he went in on her. You know, he talked about how he never. Well, I'll let folks hear it. You ready on? I'll let folks hear it for themselves. And that's what made me really.
You know,
hold on. I'm gonna say that's what really made me pull the trigger when he disrespected his sister. Now, mind you, he's supposed to be the poster child of support black women, protect black women, they our queens. But you on the internet dragging a sister, right? And if the sister was out of pocket, right? If the sister was out of pocket, you could have checked that sister. You ain't had to go live and drag that sister the way you drag. You get what I'm saying? So when he kind of came at the sister,
and it's sad because there are some people that they'll always think that I'm just a TMI auntie, but I just that is what it is. But it was necessary. It was necessary. It was a necessary deal to get this. It was necessary. Because black women didn't think that this man had it in him. And he does. And he has worse. Oh, he got way worse. And if you think that he's hurt by this, you out of your mind. Hold on. We're going to skip forward, though.
You've been scamming, saying you get to school for over 10 years. And just because the kids going back to school, you can't have a back to school nothing, because we're going to get that confused. We're going to think you talking about your school.
Right.
Back to school cookout. To get money, kind of generate money. For what? You can't put it in the bank?
Right, you can't put that's what you say. You can't put it in the bank.
Yeah, come on. You so Cash App, huh?
Right. Right. So they're saying Pastor Bussy is Lennon Horner, and some people are saying that it's TD.
It's not TD Face or Lennon Horner. It was Gerald Palmer. We're both from the same city, and Captain Paranoid thought that he had something to do with all of this. He just yanked him back in. Same way as when she said, he didn't want to be bothered with Brother so he treated Dr. Mayat like crap. So he went in, that's just how Umar is. He know everything and don't know shit, and he can fill everything out. So it is what it is. And the theatrics and all of that other stuff. You got some people that can't tell what it is, but they'll be all right.
And she thought that the world's most requested scholar was going to go down on her. Oh no.
Shut up, Fatso.
How? That's a scam. That's a scam, bro. You take all the money and go ahead and say you got a couple million, $1 million or so, right? You go ahead and peel off 10,000 and get the bill. Man, that's a scam, bro. And now you use those buildings that ain't gonna never get fixed, right?
That's the backdrop.
Every year play us, bro. Come on, man. Like, I just think we just vulnerable, man, as a marginalized community.
Yeah.
And we gotta call him out and gotta stay calling him out, man, till his money dry up.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the bank is drying up now. I think that's why he's like, I'm broke. But let me tell you what I think, and you all can hold me to it, right? I think that this is now the setup, Brother Ankh, for him to say this is why he can't open the school. The bank froze my accounts. I don't have access to my money. So now I think he's getting ready to I think he's making his exit plan right now, Brother Ankh. What you think? So. You think he's still going to hustle? You think he's going to still?
He just want to get out of this year because he's supposed to open up a school this month.
Oh,
somewhere in there, yeah. Somewhere in there, he's supposed to open up the school. Yep.
So okay, because I said he's trying to wiggle out of something right now. I don't got access to my money, so that's why I can't do A, B, and C. But something I'm telling you, Brother Ankh, I'm telling you that announcement coming soon.
What are you hooking the Cash App up to?
That part. What is he hooking it up to? What account is it linked to?
I guess he's gonna get a Cash App card.
Yeah. Let's listen to 2 more minutes and we done.
And this lady said,
women got to be fresh and clean.
Wait a minute. This lady said that every few months there's a problem. Yep, because that's how his life is. His life is riddled with this stuff. Imagine the stuff y'all don't know about, but you're gonna find out. You're gonna find out. Oh gosh, That's why I'm like, yeah, well, they gotta take the frustration out somewhere. I take it all. I take all the hits. But it don't matter. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. Judgment Day.
My women gotta smell like fresh peaches, fresh daffodils.
I know. I will tell y'all this. I'm gonna put y'all up on this. The guy that does that I call my spiritual godfather. He's a priest, and I let him hear this. He said, his face. He said, he should not have done that. I said, he said, that's very bad. I don't want to talk like him, like I'm making fun of the way he talks, but he was right. He was talking about, and I have said this. We say it in the Christian, when I was practicing Christianity. The tongue is powerful. It didn't do nothing to me. I'm already protected. But what it did to him, he thinks the ultimate goal is to shut me up and for me to lose favoritism, or not favoritism, but favor. He thought that was the war. That wasn't the war. That wasn't the war. You've been out here for years. You thought I was just going to come out here and just take it. And then people thought so slow, they were like, well, we're not going to just, or if somebody said in a comment, they were like, nobody's going to just stop following him and start following you. And I'm like, follow me where? I don't have nothing to lead you to. And I wouldn't want yes people. I wouldn't want that anyway. And that's, even if so, I tell people who I follow, I didn't follow him when I was dealing with him. For my life, no. But I think people are so programmed that they're like, well, we can't follow her because she doesn't have. I don't have anything for you to follow. You can get some good ass advice. You can get in my DMs and get some good ass advice, but outside of that, I don't have anything for you. I can give you some direction based off of how your life is, but that's it. And I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to do that. That was never the goal. The goal was just this. To extract that, because I know what I am. And I honestly believe that the dude that does my spiritual work knows who I am too. I don't bother nobody. When you are always in drama, people just like, oh shit. Like the lady said in the comment, every few days or every few weeks is something else. I never have drama. Never. So this means a lot more where my way is than his. And it ain't for, but this he's going to pay for. And it's going to be public. I don't know when. I'm not wishing it on him. That's just how it is. You can't put things out into that in the world. It didn't go good for him after he did it. You can't put this energy out in the world and not think it ain't coming back. And it don't matter who you put on you to block it, it's coming. You don't. And somebody, a channel content creator said he was cursing your womb. He can't curse my womb. He can't touch me. Ain't nothing but right been happening. Nothing but right has happened since I've come out against him. Nothing but good. I wish I could tell y'all what's going on. I don't know. That's, I don't know. That came out of his man. Everybody has a choice. We all have choices. We all have self-control. He feels like he was wrong, but he wasn't wrong. It wasn't wrong the way it could have been. He should have just took the warning.
My women got to smell like fresh roses. If you want these lips to ever touch your peach cobbler, if you want this tongue.
Hold on, I'm sorry. It's these commercials. It's gonna go off though. I gotta get that page. I gotta get that
to
page.
ever massage your honeycomb hideout,
I'm good.
you got to be clean. You got to be clean, and she need a deep cleanse. In fact, I'm going to treat her because I have her address. I know where she sleeps. I have Pastor Bussy's address. I know where he sleeps. I'm going to send her a gift certificate to the Yoni Spa.
Oh.
I'm going to send her a gift certificate to the Yoni Spa. I'm going to send her a gift certificate to the Yoni Spa because whatever she got in her, I don't know how many men she done been with. I don't know, but I've never smelled a woman smell like that. But let me get back on topic.
You look like a hamster, dude. Give it up.
Let me get on topic with this funky coochie cat, Kansas City throat goat. Let me get back on topic trying to destroy me. You picked the wrong one. You want war? I'm ready for war. Ogun is ready. Ogun is ready.
Oh, man.
So she told Pastor Bussy.
He said that shit was weak.
I went down on her. I pledge allegiance to the African flag. That is a lie. She told Pastor Bussy I hit her raw. Lie. She told Pastor Bussy I get high in order to get intimate.
Now, I did hear this from brothers and sisters in Philadelphia. I'm not see, brother. I don't be wanting to. I heard that.
Bring it out. Bring it out.
I heard when people first started donating to him, he purchased. I don't know if it was a BMW or a Mercedes. They said for $65,000, and they said that he was getting high in Philly. That's what the brothers and sisters were telling me in Philly. They were like, Doc, y'all just don't know what's going on. We see him out here. So me hearing that.
Now let me explain this because she's not lying, but it's not like that. Whoever told her that, and I think I know where that came from because it was told to me also. It's told to me right when I came out. When I said Umar was on something, I'm thinking like a blue pill, y'all, or a honey pack, okay? Never, ever did I think, and this is somebody who is aware of what serving looks like. I know what popping the carpet is, meth head or crackhead. I know the symptoms, or not the symptoms, but the characteristics of a cokehead, a crackhead, a meth head. I know this. Umar's not on dope. He's not on dope. He's not on dope. When I heard that, and then all of that went into it, I was like, no. I know what it's like when you are dealing with somebody that's on dope. I've never dealt with anybody on dope. I'm just saying, I know what it would look like being in the house with them, being around them. I know all of that. He has some serious, serious mental health issues, but he's not on dope. The story that she heard is a BMW. Umar does stupid things. Could somebody come out and say he was messing around with a chick that bumps coke? I'd believe it. Quickly. Could somebody tell me that he rode with a chick to go buy some coke? Yeah. Absolutely. Would I believe anything else in the vicinity of that story? Absolutely, I would. Is he so far removed to the point where he's in academia and that life is so far behind? No. Hell no. It's not. It's not. Would he mess with a chick and continually mess with a chick that be on dope? Hell yeah. But that won't fit the internet's persona of him. Would I be shocked? Nope. Not in the least bit. I'm not going to tell the story because I'm going to have to tell y'all who told me this. And there's more to it than what I've already told, because I've already told you guys that it's a BMW. But Umar does things and he doesn't think about what it looks like to the other people. So is that somebody throwing smut on his name, just trying to say something bad? No. Though if you think about the story and how it looks to them, and they're telling somebody else we're concerned, the way that they're seeing it, that would be accurate. They don't know the other pieces of the story. They don't. The person follows me on IG. I don't follow them back. They're waiting for me to say something. There's also some stuff from, well, we'll get into that when we start talking about Atlanta. Umar does these things. He puts himself in these positions. That's just what it is. This is another reason why he can't go into school with kids. He couldn't. Goofy. Y'all better stop believing these personas.
At this sister saying the same thing.
She told
I
Pastor Bussy the rainbow.
I never told anybody. I never said that he had to get high to get. I said he was acting like he was on something. And if I was lying, if I didn't have the text messages, all you got to do is shoot over a good court sue me. Let it play out in court, but he ain't gonna do that because he knows nothing is a lie. They can play games all day long, but if we went to court, it would end him. It would end him. And that's why I would never get behind somebody blind. Jesus.
Ganging YouTube and struggle streaming that Dr. Umar has to get high before.
I want to say
that's from a woman
I
running back and telling him the story. He didn't listen to it. That's one of them ignorant chicks wearing back and told him he got the story wrong. I didn't say he was getting high. I said he act like he was on something, breathing hard and acting like a fucking crazed out gorilla. But stop acting stupid.
Do drugs. I don't do dope.
No, he don't do drugs and he don't do dope. He doesn't. I don't think the man drinks. I don't think that he smokes anything. And if any drink comes into it, like everybody is trying to push this gin thing, if you understand spirituality, then you understand that. If somebody is drinking a shot, ain't gonna do shit for them if they're that size of a man. I mean, come on. Especially if they've been drinking consistently. What the fuck is a shot gonna do for a 6'3" you moist walrus? And plus, his temperament is of a child. He's not going to. He's probably like me and don't even like alcohol, the taste of alcohol. If he does, he's gonna drink a very little bit of it and not a lot. That's the honest God's truth. I can lie about anything, but that's the truth. Smoking, he would smoke to do his offerings, but is he sitting around smoking weed? And no. But it makes for a good story. And those stories will entertain. But when we start getting over into this area, what we're covering right now, these people, they know the truth. Just like they have an elder. She said they have, they all know each other. He knows him. They know each other. So those people know what is bullshit and what ain't. Here's another thing. A woman, and I told this story before, a woman dealt with him. She tried to explain what happened to her. She went into a certain space, and then the space, because they're about entertainment, they fucked over the story. Now here's the shit kicker. This is why you don't do people any kind of way. And everybody doesn't show their hand or tell what's going on behind the scenes. So this woman that they proclaimed was one thing, went on to date someone else that does, they do something on YouTube, okay? And they have a large following. So imagine knowing, and I'm not going to let anything out by names. I just want to tell people how making up shit and real people know what's going on. It'll feed it'll feed some people, but the people that know what's up. And I'm going to tell you why this makes a lot of sense when it comes to Jaguar Wright. So now that's one name I will, because she said my name. This person went on to date somebody else that's a content creator and knows they told the story of going on this certain channel to the person. The person is somebody that Umar doesn't like. A certain place was never supposed to move. It was supposed to stay where it was. And then I came out and things changed. So people got in a certain way because I went and did something I wasn't supposed to do. But the ignorance of them is that, how was I supposed to know that? How am I know something if I ain't around to know it? And so I guess that person decided that just wasn't right. So here comes Jaguar and her funky ass comes out and speaks on it. And she pretended as though she had an issue with me, but the issue wasn't with me, it was what I did. And then the truth of it is, the very thing that they ended up doing, coming to the DMs, they could have did in the first place. You could have just came and asked me. I probably would have told her. If anybody remembers, well, that didn't make it out, but the old page, it had her on there. I was a fan of her. I was a fan of hers. I'm not a fan of hers anymore. Loved her voice. All she had to do was come up and ask me. Just hit me up and ask me. I didn't know she was out here and all of the other stuff that was going on with Jaguar was going on. If she would have came in the DM, I would have just took her for what she was, and that was a singer, and I knew her. I knew her that way. And so she could have asked me any damn thing, and I would have told her what it was. But she decided to come out here and put that bullshit out, that I'm an agent and all these other things, and make herself look stupid. But the thing is, the girl came into the DM, the girl that I told you guys dated the other person, she came into the DM and she just told me straight up what happened. And where she went from Umar, she went on to something else. And then it all started coming together. So shout out to her for being straight up. But it also let me know the space that I was in, I didn't need to be in that space no more. Because you're not about, you just want to cover him for, is either money, attention, or whatever the fuck you on. I don't know, nor do I care. But you're presenting as one thing, but you're something else. And that'll be dealt with, I guess, whenever it gets dealt with. That's your karma. That has nothing to do with me. I don't have no beef, no problems. I just, in my own way, in my own space. But my point to all of that is you never know who people know. You never know who's talking. You never know who people are related to. You never know. So I always treat everybody good first. Not with that in the back that says like, oh, you might be related. No, just because you treat people kind. You treat people kind until they fuck over you. And then you deal with it at that point. A lot of people get themselves hemmed up, jammed up, or just make, and even though it will not become public knowledge, it's still, the jig is up. How you are presenting yourself, you're not that person. And the right people know it. So, just so you know, I don't think the girl deserved that. But, people are going to do whatever they're going to do. Just be careful how you treat people. And now this dude he ends up doing something that he thinks is going to, it's the most immature thing you could have done. It's completely, it's like 40 years under his level. Let's keep going.
I don't get high, but she told him that. A lie. She lied on me like a dog, brothers and sisters. That Kansas City throat goat built like a sack of old laundry. Built like a sack of.
I can't do this. I can't do this.
Get rid of my
I gotta. He and I'm with Miss Tiffany. He's a comedian at this point. Like for the life of me, I don't understand how anybody could take him serious. That's me though. I just listening to him. How could you take him serious as a scholar, as an activist, as a man, as a divine man, right? Or a man that exudes divine masculinity. How could you even take that serious? So anyway,
how can you be? I think this is the scary part. Analyze it this way. Mm-hmm. As a black man, claim himself to fight for a school to help raise our young boys. So at that point, you have to set a certain example, because you're saying that, in his words, like the beast, white man, is mistreating us, right? Unfairly giving us drugs, mistreating our black kids, not what's the thing? Not giving us the proper medicines and misdiagnosing us. And I'm the answer to all that. Okay. And so we put trust in him and confidence in him. But in the same sentence, you talking like that? But he remind me of Trump. Like, you don't expect your president to talk like that.
Yeah.
You expect a certain level of excellence, a certain level of poise, right?
Absolutely.
So you don't expect the person that's claiming to save us from the white man and the way they mistreating our babies. You wouldn't expect him to kind of talk that way. He would kind of keep that conversation amongst his friends, not live on the internet. You wouldn't expect it. You wouldn't expect this character to be that way. You would figure in that point he would have enough character. He could say everything he wanted to say without saying that. He'd be like, why is you always in something like that?
Throwing some shit.
You saying that you're going to be responsible, the head of a program. That's like you talking like that, Doc. Like, imagine that. Like, then at what point could we trust you in the camps? Right? Like that.
Especially under young girls. And here's the whole thing too. I'm not interested, trust me, if I was interested in exposing people, I would. But I feel like if you've kept it, even though I know what some people are, and even as they present as something else, I'm more of the fact of, I look at that more like that's your after 5 life. I'm not interested in everybody knowing what is really going on behind the scenes. As long as you're presenting, you're keeping yourself and your shit together, and you're not harming anyone, like detrimental or harm, I can respect putting on airs like you are put together in front of people and keeping the bullshit under wraps. I can respect that. Because at least you are trying to present better. What you just decide to do with your personal life and how you decide to nuke it, and you know your relationship with your family and all that other bullshit, that's your own business. That's how I honestly feel. And I damn sure do not attack other people's businesses. I don't attack their kids. Unless and I'm for sure. And it's got to be something detrimental. This was that. To the other person I'm just talking about, that's just, I felt bad because I didn't know, but now that I know, I know. It's not important for the rest of the world to know. But it is a lesson behind it too. You don't know where people are going to go on to or what's going to happen. And I think we as a people, we have to stop anticipating that we know everything about people and treating them with the cognitive bias that we can just judge. I can't even say a book by a cover, but just stop finding value in these simple things, because you may not see it in somebody, but they may hold or wield the power that is valuable, and it can take you right the fuck out. And it might be overt, or it could be covert. It might be overt out in the open, or it might be covert. It might be a sneak attack. Leave people alone when it comes to like their private lives. And then if you know that you're going to step into a position and people are following you, then at least lead better or present better. Now, if I decided to leak that person and just be like, this is the real, and this is what y'all don't know, then I would be just somebody out here just like, because trust me, if I go after Umar, I'm not scared of anybody. I don't know why people think I'm not scared, but it's just not worth it because they don't pose any threat. That would be pointless. And I got a tinge of respect for the fact that that's not how you present. You're a shit monkey as far as what you do behind closed doors, but that's between you and your guy. That ain't got nothing to do with me. But when you start attacking innocent people thinking that you are bigger than the program, and it starts leaking out into the forefront. It don't have to be anybody. It's just karma is going to take you out. That's the energy you put out. Okay, let's move along.
That don't go together.
No, it doesn't.
Those two think that the way you turn it, the way he turned that thing, don't fit. That's how you know he's scamming. He's not real about that. Right? He's not. Like, we don't want to hear about your adventures with your women, bro. You supposed to be focusing on the baby. So that means when mothers drop their kids off, they got to worry about this man howling at the mothers. Correct?
Yeah.
Right? That's what you're doing. Like, you using the kids to get to the mothers. Like, it's like that's like, I don't know why people can't see that.
Nope, not at all.
Like, what are we doing here? Forget, we can't never get these scammed, but you gonna open a school? He don't want to open a school with boys and girls. He wanted to open a school with the boys.
He can try that shit with kids if you want to. Because trust me, they'll be coming any day on some child endangerment shit.
I don't think I thought about that. I was saying, he's always talking wow. The line acting like he was like this on the cell phone. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Hey, and that's why I was saying, like, all this little dingbat shit is cool until you start getting around kids and start thinking that you can move like that around kids. They'll hem your ass up for child endangerment or anything. That's what I said, is it'll correct itself. Either way, if it stops right here, wonderful. Go on, seek out your lifestyle of a famous whatever it is that you do. Pan-Africanist, I don't know. But don't go into a school. You know you're not right. Or open the school, put somebody else in there, and stay away from it. You know you're not right. But you go in there and fucking around with them kids and your weird shit, it won't be on the opinion of the internet. Your luck will run out. I guarantee you them people are not going to play with you. I don't know why people do that. I don't know why it be some crazy ass people. They want to open up daycare centers. You know you shouldn't be around kids. Do something else. He could have taught other school psychologists. He could have started a whole movement, you know what I'm saying, of teaching school psychologists whatever it is that he was trying. And it would have been controversial, people would have been against it. But he didn't have to get around the kids. You could talk about 5'5" thick in the thighs and booties all damn day with them. You want to get around kids and you screwed up. You ain't got no kind of therapy from your life that's crazy.
Don't worry about it, bro. I'm getting the phone ring.
Hey, check this out. There's a brother named J. Cole. Peace to Joseph Cole. Joseph Cole, I just dropped the link in the chat. He gave me some pushback. He gave us some pushback in the chat. And so, Brother Cole, I'm going to give you the floor, man, so you can come in and give us an opposing view. I don't mind opposing views. All perspectives are welcome, brother Joseph Cole. So, Brother Joseph Cole, I just dropped the link in the chat. Click on that link, brother.
He's the first person I have ever seen to where I don't have to remind he don't need to go into a school. And then Brother Unc is also the first person that called out, like, immediately, Brother Polite is a pedophile. This man is a scammer. One is completely different than the other. Let me show y'all something. Do we have time? No. What the hell? Hold on, you guys. Let me show you this. I know some of you might have seen it, but you ain't seen it with me. I really honestly don't know what people were thinking, but I do see why I don't be having problems because I don't I don't struggle with these things. It's not that. It's almost like I think making good decisions. And don't hold me to the one with dealing with Umar, but I'm saying making good decisions. It is you have to practice it. Sometimes it don't come easy. Listen to this. Let's look at this. Let me bring this up. It don't come easy, but you just keep practicing it. Listen.
That co-intel hoe tried to destroy me. When that woman, that co-intel hoe, tried to destroy me, everybody in the conscious community, everybody joined in on the political carnage, and they tried to destroy the Prince of Pan-Africanism. They tried to destroy me, FDMG. They didn't give a damn about our children. I'm just making a comparison. I'm just making a comparison. I'm just making a comparison. But guess what? They tried to destroy me within minutes of her false allegations. They tried to destroy me within minutes of her false allegations.
Talk too much. He talk like Nature Boy. Like he just constantly is talking.
They tried to destroy me within minutes of her false allegations. Can I ask you a question? This brother was accused of these crimes 2.5 years ago. Where is the same energy for this pedophile plead conviction? Where is the same energy for the pleading guilty to these pedophile charges that y'all had for Dr. Umar when that agent provocateur lied and said I was stealing FDMG money and spending it on her? Where the same energy at? Where the same energy at? I don't see y'all. Where are you?
A lot like he was when I was telling him about the dishes. I was like, I got a bloody nose. I got dizzy. These idiot broads that he put in his face. This is how dingy. This is why you shouldn't trust putting kids in there, because they're gonna put kids in there, and these dingbat ass women are gonna come up. And they gonna protect him, not your kid, him, for whatever goes on. And then this doofus goes on, what was that? Some show he went on and he was like, and the spirits saved my life because I had a carbon monoxide leak. You dipshit, you was in there with your mama. She's been in there. And I left, and I told you I got a bloody nose and I was getting dizzy. I told you she was getting dizzy. You can't you're supposed to have a fucking detector in there. Both of us could have been dead. Oh, the spirit saved my life. He's an idiot. And then he's sitting up there shouting at me like this. Why aren't the dishes done? Why aren't the dishes done? I don't envy no bitch going in that space. Whatever texts were put out, that shit is null and void. There are many more after, many more before. I don't care about that. But he's already acting like this outside of the school. He's immune to it. You think he ain't gonna do this shit in the school? Let's keep going.
Are you conscious pimps and hoes? Where y'all at? When she accused me in 2015 of spending the money, y'all couldn't wait to jump on YouTube. Y'all couldn't wait to jump on the radio. Y'all couldn't wait to offer a podcast. This man was accused for 2.5 years, pled guilty yesterday. I don't see y'all. I don't see y'all. Half of y'all who tried to condemn me when I was innocent ain't got nothing to say about this man who pled guilty. Half of you who tried to condemn me when I was innocent don't have nothing to say.
The only person that really has the right to have this energy, he acting like he's attached to this damn case with Brother Polite. The only person that has a right to have this type of energy is Dr. Maya. Because she literally had to defend herself against these clowns when they were backing Brother Polite. So what the hell are you mad for? You trying to ball off, you trying to get clout off of this man? Oh my God. He acts like he has some kind of tie. He should be more angry at him for doing this to a little girl. Thank God I was not on the net. Thank God I was not on the net.
About this man who pled guilty. Half of you who condemned me when I was innocent of charges that I was stealing money. Stealing money.
And everything. He's acting like they brought him up on charges. All of this stuff. This is how much this is why it was perfect to come on the net. Because this is how tied he is to the internet. How do you associate, and he did it again with Cheyenne Bryant, how do you associate this shit with you and your situation you went through that you put yourself in for offering up that you are celibate and you were sleeping with a woman? You were signaling to people that you were celibate.
Y'all tried to destroy me. I can't even see y'all now. Where y'all hiding? Where they at? Why y'all ain't got the same energy? This is way worse.
Kim could have came out and did this and had more something to say. Y'all protecting pedophiles. You protecting predators. And I came out and I told you about it. This would have been a better argument for her. What is he mad about? Why are you crashing out? He need to get his mental checked.
This is way worse than stealing fundraiser money.
Yes,
this is way worse than stealing fundraiser money. Abusing a
he can't even, he's a psychologist and he can't even rationalize in his mind that you're crashing out over being accused of something that you put yourself in. This is an innocent child. They're not the same. You trying to clout off. Oh, this is a clout chase. How you gonna be mad at something? Y'all let this man up here. Let's just watch it.
Girl, lips busted, drugged up, doped up, 6 semen stains. Oh no, where y'all at, conscious community? Y'all said y'all about holding people accountable. Y'all said y'all about holding people accountable. Y'all said
this is about him. This is not even about the little girl. How could we miss this? How do we miss the flags?
Y'all said y'all about holding people accountable.
Crash out.
Y'all not about holding people accountable.
Black
America don't have no ethical standards no more. Black America don't have no moral foundation anymore. It's all about who you are. Who you are determines whether you're guilty. Who you are determines whether you'll be held accountable. Who you are determines whether or not the community is going to excommunicate you.
How does he feel the right to do this? Where's the mama at? I would have been like, we don't want to talk to you. Where's the mother of the child at? So we can apologize for missing it for her.
Pedophilia in black power is a new thing when you got leaders of mass organizations who had children by girls under 16, married girls under 16. We need to take a long, hard look in the mirror.
I'm gonna let him say this because I'm gonna mollywop y'all with this next one. I'm gonna let him say this.
Long, hard look in the mirror.
Look it up good, Umar.
We need to take a long, hard look in the mirror. Hit the Cash App, $ FDMG School.
That's why I said it's performative. It's performative. Hit the Cash App.
To get ready for the grand opening. Hit the Cash App, $FDMG School. We trying to get ready for the grand opening. Hit the Cash App, $FDMG School. We trying to get ready for the grand opening. International Africans, hit the PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. International Africans, hit the PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. International Africans, hit the PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. This is your brother King Kong Consciousness. If you're going to practice selective morality, if you only going to hold people accountable who you don't like, but you refuse to acknowledge the wrongs of the people you like, you lower than dirt. You are not a part of the black liberation struggle. You are not a part of the black power struggle. You are an ethical hypocrite, a disgrace to the African race.
I can't listen to him anymore. Listen to this. Wait, let me pull this up. He's a fucking crash out. I don't know how people do it. I really don't. I couldn't deal with it, dealing with him. He's a fucking crash out. He took nothing about that child. It's mine. That child will have to deal with whatever happened to her. And I can't even pull my stomach together, even look at what he was accused of. I don't want to know. All I need to know is what I know already. Hold on. I don't want to know. I was going to look at it. I can't listen to that stuff about a kid. I can't. I don't do good with stuff like that. I don't get no, entertainment out of. Yeah, I can't shake stuff like that. Talking about busted lips and stuff on a 14. No, I can't do it. Look at this. Now, we all heard what his opinion was about the community, right? We heard about his opinions on the community. It ain't just start that day. Let me show you.
What they did, brothers and sisters. They came into Brooklyn and damn job. And then you go back to college to get another degree, more debt. They broke the black man's ability to take care of his family. Deal with the black family situation that's facing black men either. Only black women. You're the only sisters in America who out-earn and out-educate their men. You're the only sisters in America who out-earn and out-educate your men. And there's nothing wrong. You did nothing wrong at all. But we need you to understand that there is a hand that is engineering this entire situation. They want to get black women to join the propaganda war that says all black men ain't shit. And we need you not to fall for it. We need you not to fall for it. We need black women to stand for black men, and we need black men to stand for black women.
I wonder, coming from somebody like him, does this mean keep coddling us? I know it doesn't mean that for all, but that's all I hear.
We're going to find our girls. We're going to find our girls. We need y'all to make sure these girls are in the house at a certain time. Don't let them date older men. Kick the pedophiles out the family, and you got to expose the pedophiles after you identify who they are. There's nothing worse than
Now, I got another video. I'm gonna show you that too. We're going to run a little bit over.
a girl.
Listen to what it says.
See the same uncle that molested her there for Sunday dinner. There's nothing worse than a girl going to church on Sunday and seeing the same pastor that molested her, and there she got the smile on his face as he baptizes her. He had already baptized her once when he took her innocence.
That's not baptizing, you fuck up.
And we got to understand why so many black women don't trust black men. Because they've been raped and molested and taken advantage of and then made to act like it never happened. And guess what happens? That creates trauma. And whenever you traumatize, you don't think straight. And guess what else? When you get traumatized people don't even realize when they're not in the trauma no more. They live through the trauma as if it is an everyday situation. So every time she see a man, the trauma wakes itself back up. Our girls need help. They need therapy. They also need support. As I close out, one thing we got to do for our young ladies is we got to have safe.
He's very interested in what people need to do with young ladies. But he's opening a school for boys. But listen to what he says they should do in a community that can't stand on business for shit. This is what he wants them to do. If you got somebody that don't take care of their kids, are you going to ask them to watch your kid while you at work? Hell no. You'd be a fool if you did. But listen.
Houses for them, where they can go and sleep, that are run by the community. I'm not talking about the city of New York. I'm not talking about the state of New York. I'm not talking about Washington, D.C., United States Congress. What the hell we need them to build safe houses for black girls for?
Because y'all can't be trusted. You move in the shadows. Dumbass women protect men like you. Blindly. So no, you don't need to run a safe house for little girls.
We spent $600 million on McDonald's last year. We spent $2 billion on Air Jordans last year. We spent $4 billion on alcohol last year. We spent $9 billion on weave and perm in 2016. What the hell?
This is coming from a man whose room is packed to the ceiling of Air Maxes. Go off though.
Begging the government to build safe houses for black girls when we got the money to do it ourselves. Black family as I close.
And when he did have the money, and him and his when they did have the money and they did buy something to enter into the community, what was it? Was it a safe house for girls? No. Was it anything that could benefit the community? No. He goes and he gets a building, or they have this idea, it's not him, but maybe not him. They go and get this house across the street with and do an art gallery. Because if you go into that community, the one thing that is lacking and it desperately needs is something that is a luxury sport. Looking for paintings is a luxury sport in a community that is struggling. He decided that it needed an art gallery. Him and his dingbat of female friends. You ain't got no lay of the land in the community. You didn't come in, you didn't feel like trying to get to know anybody in the community to see what the community needed. You just decided to buy a house, throw up some pictures of yourself that nobody gives a shit about because you ain't done shit, and then stick some art in there. That's what you did for a struggling community. Stupid.
If you have children, I want y'all to know something. Every Tuesday morning, and I do this out here. If you ever have a question, and you have business cards, make sure you get.
He is so eager to get a hold of people's children for what? You got kids and you don't do right by them. But let's see where he wants to do with your kids now. He's about to say it.
You can call this IEP, suspension, expulsion to the age of 11 and 17. I'll be hosting my second annual Black College and Consciousness Tour. June.
So any of them that had kids from 11 to 17 years old, 11 to 17-year-old going on a 2-week college tour. And people gave him the kid. They don't. We are constantly out here on social media talking about, I don't let my kids spend the night nowhere. I don't let my kids spend the night nowhere. It's even as a woman sending my daughter over to another woman for a slumber party with all girls. It's not something I'm up for. But no, you got people that gave their kids to him to take off onto a college tour blindly. Hey, Vane.
28th to July 12th. If you have a son or daughter between the age
Watch where he takes them. If you've watched my other video, then you know where I'm going with this.
11 and 17, send them with me this week. This summer. June 28th, July 12th, 14 days, 14 nights. We're going to Morehouse. We're going to Tuskegee. We're going to the black colleges in Tennessee. We're going to the black colleges in North Carolina, the black colleges in South Carolina. Not only that, the National Civil Rights Museum, the Oyotuji African Village.
You're going to take the kids there. Okay.
The George Washington Carver Museum, the Charleston, South Carolina Slavery Tour. 14 days.
More women doing his bidding. Hold on, I'll show you. And you can't even be mad because, I mean, what can you be mad at? It's just somebody not broken. They're not in their right mind. Hold on, I'm gonna show you guys this, and then we're gonna wrap it on up. Hold on. Car 54, where are you? I don't know why I said that. I need to get in the bed. I don't even know what that's from. I think it was from a TV series or something.
Sharon, what are your thoughts on Brother Polite?
Now, who is that? Let's see what.
Sister Sharon, what are your thoughts on Brother Polite? You really want to know my thoughts on Brother Polite?
So you think that that wasn't scripted so he can get in here and start talking about Brother Polite? Let's keep going.
I'll give you my history with Brother Polite, okay? Because I don't want to speak negatively about the brother. You know, he doesn't mention me. I don't mention him. He's not one of my favorite people.
Let me show you this. If I hadn't shown it to you, you wouldn't. I think I might have showed it, but I don't know. Let me show you this. This is why I said women think that he's this person that he's not, based off of the persona that he puts online. So let me show you. I asked him, I said, you like Professor Griff from Public Enemy? And I asked him this because if anybody knows, Soleil was married to Genuine, but then she started, she's from Kansas City. Then she got married to Professor Griff. So I was wondering, I said, wonder if he knows who he is, because I knew that he did some work too in the community. So he said, I've heard that he doesn't care for me. He never said that Professor Griff, this is somebody answering because he knows that I don't know anything about his history before a certain date. So a lot of things that everybody else knows, I didn't know that. I didn't know that he knew Professor Griffin. That's how he got his start. or that was one of the people that he was dealing with back in the 2011, 12, whatever. So he answers it, but he didn't give me that piece of information. He offers this whole entire monologue we're about to watch to someone else. So I said, or he said, I've heard he doesn't care for me. Wait. Oh, well. I said, what? Oh, well. Then we don't like him. So he'll be comfortable. I said, he's here a lot. I think he would like you. He's a Leo too. He's born on the 1st. Him and KRS-One are both Leos. He's going to offer her up this long. Now, the only reason why I said, well, we don't like him is because if I'm in close proximity to a man, I know how men are. If you don't jack with that dude, then I'm not going to jack with that dude. It'd be different if we were friends, but if we're intimate, I'm not going to do that. Because, some men pillow talk and they feel like you don't want your enemy or people that you don't like knowing things about you. So I cut that off. So it ain't even a possibility. And it's to give some people feel some type of security. I wouldn't want to be laying down with somebody who is friends with my enemy. You know what I'm saying? It would make me feel kind of awkward. Some people care, some people don't care. But I offered that courtesy for peace of mind. Because that's how I am. He didn't tell me any kind of background information. He just said, I heard he doesn't care for me. I said, what? Oh, well, okay, no problem. Let's keep going.
He and I, along with Sarah Sutanseti, were the 3 speakers at an event that Brother Sarnetta hosted.
This is the same dude that said he don't want nobody that, is thinking more about that space, and it ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm saying he needs a groupie. You need a fangirl. Because you can't protect it. Men like him, you can't protect their 6 and you can't protect your own 6. You can't do it. You can't do it. But he offered up worse things about other people. So why wouldn't you just tell me you knew the dude? He did the same thing with Mark Lamont. He gave me this long, drawn-out thing about Mark Lamont, and then turns around and didn't even tell me, yeah, I know him already. He came to FDMG's picnic or whatever. So I'm thinking he don't know nothing about him. I don't know nothing about him at the time. I'm not on the internet. So he asked me my opinion. I go off of limited information. Let's keep going.
Back in 2011, 2012, I had just taken over the conscious movement as its king about a year prior.
Y'all hear what he said?
Over 2012. I had just taken over the conscious movement as its king about a year prior. And I showed up to the National Black.
Remember I told you guys about that story with the woman who stopped dealing with him and moved on? Remember I just told y'all that? Umar's been taking shots at people for a long time. That's why people don't like him. He says extra shit, and he knows what he's doing. He could have just been saying, I took over. He didn't even have to say anything about I took it over as its king. Because people going to get pushed.
Theater that night for an event that was called Gathering of the Young Masters. I believe Brother Seti presented first, Polite presented second, I presented third. When it was time for me to present, the Brother Polite didn't want to get off the stage.
Now, how believable is that when we've seen Umar and other things not want to give up the mic? And then got nasty with the elder. Let's keep going.
Took King Simon, Sarnetta, and other people to remind him that his time was done and he needed to get out the way. He also made some subliminal comments that were somewhat disrespectful as well. I ignored him, being the #1 orator alive. Obviously,
shots. He taking shots at this person. Same way when he says struggle streamer. He's not talking about you content creators. He's not talking about y'all. Y'all take offense to it. You catch strays, but he's talking about one person.
Took over the show, blew it down. The rest was history. That was the first incident. The second incident was
footage for there. He did not blow it down.
When the COINTELHO scandal took place in 2015 with Mrs. Kim Ringworm, for whatever reason.
Yo, taking shots at people. He keeps shit going.
He decided to do a 1 to 2 hour seminar on the COINTELHO scandal and went so far as to accuse me of being
Umar, I would never call a woman a hoe. I would never lead to that she might be promiscuous. I would never do it. I would never do that. Somebody could shoot back and shut his whole world down and it would hurt him. He's lucky I'm not a vicious person. There's some things, if people knew what I knew, he would never say. He would never say.
A fraud and a scammer and saying the school would never work. And if I had any sense, I would give him the money to invest in the school. And I didn't understand why somebody whose name I don't mention would stick their name in my business when it has nothing to do with him. And that was
you make shots like this, and I'm not even taking up for Brother Polite, but you take shots like this, and people gonna get you back.
Pretty much the end of that. I did get an Instagram message from Brother Polite a couple years ago, respectfully. He said that he was interested in some form of collaboration. He slid into my DMs on Instagram. I didn't respond.
I wouldn't believe that, because if he did, he would not miss the chance to throw it up on IG so it'll make him look like the winner or hire the victim. He's just, his mental is like that. He would do it.
And no disrespect to him at all. And I appreciate him.
He did it to Ray J.
Stepping up. If that was a genuine attempt to try to reconcile our past differences, I can appreciate that from any black man. And if that was a genuine attempt to reconcile, I appreciate it. But I am one person who is firmly of the mindset that we can reconcile. But my history has shown me that it's best not to go back to work with folks that you previously had issues with, because black people have a very difficult time burying the hatchet. Now, with regard,
there's a man that's sitting up here taking all these shots at people. Does he really give y'all the impression that he's forgiving and moved on? He's still taking shots at this person. What has it been, 10 years? And they ain't even thinking about him.
To the accusations that have been made against him regarding pedophilia, child sexual abuse, I cannot speak to that. I have seen arguments that
what pedophilia is. This dude is so performative.
Say the brother is innocent. I have seen arguments that say the brother is guilty. I understand his court case is still proceeding, and it is not my place to meddle in that, just like I did not meddle in his teacher.
But he brought Kaylon Walker on and gave him the entire show to give out his point of view. And everybody left off for their like cringe. And he's a whole psychologist and he couldn't pick up on it. He doesn't read people well.
You can't tell. Or who he claims to be his teacher, the great Dr. Malachi Z. York. I've had people who have asked me to come to Dr. York's defense. I've had people who have asked.
He has people in his family that still believe in York.
Asked me to not come to Dr. York's defense. So I approach Brother Polite's accusations and criminal charges the same way I approach Dr. Malachi Z. York's accusations and criminal charges, and that is hands off until the dust settles and I can evaluate the whole truth to give my opinion. I do not believe in minding people's business. Okay, even though he minded my business before.
He minds other people's business too. He's newsy.
I'm not going to mind his business. It's not.
You know everything about his damn neighbors, but they don't know who he is. He's newsy.
My place. I hope the charges are not true. I hope he is exonerated. If the charges do prove to be true, then I'll have another conversation at that time. But right now,
bro, he just lies. He just lies. You can sit here all day and break this shit down with proof. This is why people do not like Umar Johnson. It don't get no better than this, folks. Okay, I am going to end this segment. I will be back with more dirt, more stuff as I get time to do it. No more dirt. I mean, if it come up, there's stuff that I have and it just don't make sense, and I just want to put it out there, but I'm not really interested in covering. Well, maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. I just don't like hypocrites. I don't like people that lie, straight up just fucking lie. I don't like people. My pet peeve is privacy breach. I don't like that. It's not about anybody hiding anything. It's just the fact that people have to have boundaries. They have to have a personal life. And the fact that bothers you, like you don't have any business having a personal life. Your privacy is nothing. My privacy is everything. I'm going to send some dumb females in to get information. And yeah. But don't talk about my business. That's not what happens. Okay, y'all. I'm going to let this ride on out, and I will be back soon. I can't go over that. Yeah, I'll be back soon. Peace. Have a beautiful, beautiful morning.